I don't believe that this is where we want it to be. I'm not saying that the redskin, personally, I'm not offended by it. I don't think, as my son said, 81% of them aren't offended by it. Oh, he did mention that I have Indian heritage, didn't he? I'm not offended by it. But the process we went through to get to here was way wrong. I don't believe that this was Mr. Wilson Holmes' call. I believe that if you look in the Teton High School policy manual, it will say, we are Teton Redskins. When we say policy, that becomes board issue. When Mr. Wilson Holmes made this decision, it became board, not interest, but you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. And I hope it's sooner than later before this valley gets divided worse than it already is. I know what you're going through, funding. I do know that. And for you folks that don't know that, I spent 13 years on this school board right up here. You figure out how many meetings that was. How many meetings do I attend? And this is the worst meeting I have ever attended for something that was pertaining to education. Absolutely the worst in 13 years. We have a school district that is in financial disaster. Bar none. We are. We can't afford school buildings repair. We can't afford textbooks. We can't afford technology. We can't work on our test scores. We're low. We have schools 8 years without AYP. Most of those folks don't know what that means. I do. AYP. Annual Yearly Progress. 8 years, we haven't made it. This is what we should be interested in. I really, honestly, I don't care what the Chauvin Indians thought of our redskin name. They didn't come to me and ask me what I thought about their casino being built. They didn't. I'm sorry. I promised to try to be positive. But that's how I feel. Here's my biggest frustration. And I'm going to direct this at you, Monty, and I'm sorry. Monty, you're the one I picked to lead us into the future. And I had no idea we would be right here today. And I have deep regrets.
I'm Rick Fuller, and I want to be a Redskin.
I'm Kay Fulmer, and I'd like to second everything that Jim said. I was also on the school board for 9 years, and I feel like that when Monty came in, when he did, and said he was doing it, our school board failed us. The school board should have said, all right, sit down, we're going to go through the proper steps. That was not the proper steps. Anyway, I second everything Jim said, and I'd like to address, through the museum, we have a lot of histories in of our early pioneers, and a lot of the histories tell about the Native Americans that come in here, and how they was friends of the early pioneers, how their kids played together. I can't see how we could be anything but prideful to be a Redskin.
My name is table farmer in this valley. We've been here a long time. I'm also a fourth generation Redskin, as far as I'm concerned. And I have 2 boys, and I want them to be Redskins. I want them to feel the pride that I felt when I went to school. I fear that the decision has already been made, that the Redskin is gone. It's offensive to some of our neighbors. And I fear the decision has already been made. And I guess I'm here to kind of give a little bit of a compromise. If the Redskin is offensive, why do we have to change the mascot from the Native American? Honestly, it would still give us that pride. We would have that connection still with that Native American heritage. We may not be Redskins anymore, but we'd still have that connection. So if you've made the decision that it's going to be changed because a Redskin is offensive, is really being a Native American offensive, having that mascot. And that's why I present that to you. Because I look at this picture right here, and I see pride, and I'm happy about that. I'm excited for my boys to be a part of this. And, I don't want to be a raven or some, animal or something. I think it'd be prideful to be a Native American if it's not Redskin. Hopefully, at least we can keep it a little bit. Thank you.
My name is Craig Coombs. First of all, Monty, I want to set this straight. We have been friends for our lives, and we will continue to be friends. I've known you to make bad decisions in the past.
That's an understatement.
Just so you know, our friendship is solid, all right? I want the board to know, I know school law. And I know, and I agree with what Jim Douglas said. You circumvented the law when you allowed policy change to be made by your superintendent. Now, you have an opportunity to rectify that if the decision has not already been made. And I'm led to believe that it has, but I would hope that you would remain open-minded. And as elected officials, supported by this public that is standing here seated before you, you would recognize their input and you would listen carefully to their thoughts and their desires. I coached and taught in this district for 25 years. Many of these people that are seated here are my friends and my athletes and students. I know their will. They are your base. Remember that. They are your base. These people are the people that have lived in this valley over the 100-year period we're talking about. And they have deep-seated feelings about the tradition and heritage that stands behind the name of Redskin. We are not offended by it, and we are proud of it. I can assure you that in all the years I coached kids in this school district, we were proud to be Teton Redskins. I'm still proud to be a Teton Redskin. I don't know what I will be in the future if you change that. And that anonymity causes me concern. I don't know that I'll have loyalty or I'll have any responsibility to support bonds or levies or issues that arise. If you're in a financial bind, and I know most school districts are, and Jim, I do know what AYP stands for. You need to be careful not to offend your base. And at this point, I feel like you have. I don't discredit you I give you credit for listening to us. I know two of your new board members just got sworn tonight. You should have completely open minds to this process. I hope you listen carefully to what the people that have said here tonight have spoken about. And that this heritage is important to us. And our history, if history doesn't give anything to you, what value is it? Okay? We are deep-seated Redskins, and we plan to fight.